I don't have to say too much, but it's Friday, y'all, and I'm about to give you another reaction video. If you are new here, my name is Shaneria. This is Talking Crime, and on this channel, we do reaction videos. If you like tea, if you like drama, heck, if you just like to hear somebody else's story, this is the channel for you. So you guys, without further ado, if you are returning, you already know how we like to do it. Let's get straight into today's reaction video.
I'm having a bad day. So I thought I'd come on here and give you guys a story time about how my sister stole $4,800 from me after I took care of her, after her having a stroke. Cut to back in 2019, my sister had a tumor in her brain. The pregnancy that she had with her youngest child made it grow really fast. It ruptured 2 weeks after she gave birth to her child. She had a toddler at the time, so of course she needed help. Family flew in to help her. I was the only one. I had to come back into town, not because of her, but because I was moving back, and it was happening at the same time when she had the stroke. So when I got into town, I went over to the hospital. We're all taking care of her. Everybody's pitching in. A whole bunch of people donated money to make sure she was okay. To this day, she's fine. She doesn't have a lot of use in her hand, but she's back to normal. She goes back to work, whatever. In this time period, I'm staying at the hospital to help her. She comes home. I still have to help her learn how to walk, talk, and use her hands again. Granted, she's going to physical therapy for all this, so I'm not saying like it was all me and I did all this by myself. That's not what I'm saying. She's married. Her husband was building a charter school at the time, so he owns the charter school with somebody else, and he's the principal. If you know what it means to build a charter school, he was back and forth to conferences the whole time she's rehabilitating. He's working 8-10-hour days, so sometimes even longer. So it's a lot of it's falling on me. I'm taking her to her doctor appointments. I'm taking her back and forth to the school to pick the kids up, drop the kids off at school in the morning and pick them up from school in the afternoon, in the midst of during the day taking her. At one point I was also cooking for them. I was also cleaning for them. I'm doing night feedings with the baby. I wasn't every night doing night feedings. We would switch off, but I was still participating in that. And then also the toddler at one point was sleeping in my bed because he didn't want to sleep by himself. So then we had to retrain him to sleep back by himself so he would stop coming into my bed. But that lasted a long time. So there's a large part of that for like 2 years, I was not sleeping. I also have my own health issues. So I was ignoring my health issues. She would ask me to take off of work when there were emergencies. They were not paying me. I just didn't have to pay rent. And they felt like because I wasn't paying rent, that was enough. And I said, hey, that's not enough. You want me to take care of the kids and you as a home health aide, and you want me to do other stuff like fix up stuff around the house. It's not adding up. You're taking advantage of me. And in the midst of this is why I say it was taking advantage, because they would always tell me before they asked me to do something that they couldn't pay me for, they would tell me, well, you don't really do.
That's a lot of stuff to expect somebody to do. You are housekeeping, a home health care, and a daycare center. Come on now. They know they was taking advantage.
You don't really do shit and you live here for free. You're taking advantage of us. Night feedings with a baby. Night feedings with an infant and having a toddler sleep in my bed, taking them back and forth from school and her back and forth from the hospital, and I was taking advantage of her. Cut to, I had a mental breakdown because, as you know, if you go without sleep for too long, you have to go to the psych ward. So I went to the hospital, stayed there for 3 days. They got upset. She was like, you already took 3 days off. I said, what? Then she said, if you take any more time off and you don't take care of the kids, we're kicking you out. She kicked me out. Meanwhile, she does not pay me. She does not pay me. So all my other bills aren't getting paid. My phone bill, all this other shit, not getting paid. Then she says, well, you can come back after a year of me staying with my brother, which that was a whole other shit show. I come back, they say, okay, cool. You pay $200 a month in rent. We'll give the money back to you. And you no longer have to take care of the kids because we have no payer. They mistreat and abuse, not abuse physically, but they want so much more out of their au pair that they don't realize is none of their business. And then on top of that, I'm having to help the au pair. Some of the au pairs spoke Spanish and didn't know how to drive in America. So I had to not only in Spanish translate shit, I had to do it and teach them how to drive. They didn't want to pay me for that, but they wanted me to do it because I'm the only person in that household that speaks Spanish.
And you a driving educator?
Anyways, needless to say, I ended up doing a lot of shit in their house, even though I wasn't supposed to be, for those 2 years while I was paying rent. Still helping with the kids. Still doing shit for my sister, like her hair and all this other stuff. They kicked me out because her husband felt emasculated because he drinks a lot. He ran over their daughter's foot. Nobody called the cops, by the way. Don't know how he's still not arrested. He got drunk, drove into the garage multiple times. He has a drinking problem, drove over her foot. She still has the scar on her foot. He's hit the kids multiple times. I say, hey, homie, he doesn't handle stress well. His life has been stressful. I had a stroke. I'm like, all of us are stressed out. Nobody's hitting the kids. Nobody has an alcohol problem and is driving over the kid's foot with the car. Anyways, they end up kicking me out because I'm telling her that she needs to hold him accountable before things spin out of control. He tried to get up in my face and fight me one time because he felt like my finances were his business when he wasn't paying me. And I would tell him, "Lo, can you clean? Can you do something?" And it was, "You're emasculating me. She's in our business." And I'm like, homie, you want me to take care of your kids and I ask you to clean up something. You start moving furniture and you get mad because of my response to that. Anyways, they kept the $4,800 that they were supposed to give to me, which I don't know if I'm calculating right. 12 months. No, it's 24 months times 200, which I think is 4,800 last time I checked. Meanwhile, I was also babysitting the kids when they would go on date nights. So she kept all the money. She admits that he lied. And he'll be like, I didn't say I was going to do that. And she's like, no, you did say that you were going to give her money back. And she's like, well, but that's my husband. And if he says he's not going to give it back, then he's not giving it back. Don't ask about it no more. Do you think any of my friends and friends and family have told her about herself, even though she's a Christian? And they weaponize the Bible against me every chance they get to get me to do stuff for her. Do you think any of them told her that she was wrong for the way that she treated me after I did all of that shit for her? No. So anyways, I'm homeless. I'm about to lose my car because I'm behind on my car payments because I have chronic health issues. Just like she has health issues. My mom has health issues. My brother has health issues. We're all sick. She has the money to give me back my money and she won't. And she doesn't give a fuck that I helped her for them 4 years on and on, 4 years in total. I'm homeless. I just had 2 surgeries this year. I had my uterus taken out and I had my shoulder my right shoulder reconstructed. I had my right shoulder reconstructed. I'm living out of my car. So now I'm about to be living on the fucking street because she won't give me my money back. And that's beyond the point that's like, I need somewhere to live. That's my fucking sister. And she don't even give a fuck that this is how I experience her. That I would literally get down and lay with her while she dying to make sure she don't go no fucking where. I would sit down in the bed and lie beside her so she don't fucking go nowhere. Why she fucking hooked up to Vince and shit. And I'm just like, bitch, you don't give a fuck about me like that? For real? After I took care of your kids like they were mine? That's my fucking sister. And she don't love me, and that shit fucking breaks my heart that she will fucking do this shit, man. Oh, needless to say, we won't even talk about how she's weaponizing her kids against me and how she'll be like, oh, you need to not go no contact, but you need to take care of the kids. But every time I say, hey, I want to see the kids, she come up with an excuse and a reason why I can't see the kids. Is she Christian?
Them Christians be the ones that don't care about nobody else's feelings, pain, hurt, being homeless, none of that. As long as they get taken care of, they fine. Basically, that's what she's showing her husband and her, but mainly her. She's showing she don't care. When it was her time of need, as long as people was there for her, she was fine. But she's not going to reciprocate that same energy when it comes to somebody else. Obviously, she showed you that. And she probably looking at this video like, girl, shut up. Like, she don't care whatsoever. She know it's wrong, but she's not going to correct it. And she really don't give two, because she don't have to prove anything to you at the end of the day. That's what it seems like. So, story time for why I went back.
So if you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and watch the other video. But basically this is a story of why I went back to an abusive situation with my sister and brother-in-law. So long story short, my brother found out about the hospital stay. And I was on Shmoo watch. My sister kicks me out. My brother's like, yo, you can come live with me. Cause that's fucked up how they treated you. I'll help you get back on your feet. Cool. Couple rules were, it was like, he had to keep his place clean. because I needed to get rest, and I needed to be healthy because of my chronic health issues. If you don't know, I have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, so I get sick really easily, and I just stay fucked up and sick. So anyways, another caveat to that situation, me being there was just like, yo, the rule was is that I had to be on Shmoo to watch Vince Needs. I had to do certain things. So I had to get up and go on walks every day. I had to exercise. I had to eat right. I had to learn how to play guitar. I had to go get ketamine treatments. He taught me how to ride a motorcycle, and I also had to keep up with my art. And after a month I had to get a job, which I already had a job that whole time. I've been working the whole time, with my art, because of my art business. Like, me being an artist was actually me. I was making money at the time. So then, I get there and he has cockroaches, and I'm like, nigga, the fuck? And he's like, that's not my fault. That's my neighbors. I said, homie, there's something in this apartment that they want, because they keep coming back. So I tell him, yo, we need to clean this up and like figure this out. And he's like, no, you don't understand. I tried really hard to clean this apartment. So I spent a couple days cleaning up everything. And I'm like, sir, you didn't do anything. Because if, like, I'm trying to teach him, like, this is how you clean. Anyways, that was a whole situation. Then it was, things start falling apart. Meanwhile, I'm keeping up my end of the bargain and doing what I'm supposed to do. Oh, the other caveat is I had to cook. If he paid for groceries and the bills in the house, like, I had to cook. And I was like, cool, I'll cook. But you have to go grocery shopping with me. There's all these things where it was just like, I'll do my part, but I'm not a maid, or slave. So we're not going to do, you know? So anyways, I'm cooking and doing all this stuff. He wants to go and hang out with his friends after he gets off of work, but he has a dog. And when I tell you he has a dog, it's really a horse. It's a, like, Dojo Argentino. Nigga's fucking horse. You got a fucking horse in your goddamn apartment, and you want me to take care of it and take it on a walk? This motherfucker's pulling me down the block. He doesn't pull. That's not, like, he's a well-trained dog. But I'm like, you fucking nigga, if you don't fucking come get this goddamn dog. Anyways, so I'm like, okay, that's cool that you want to go out with your friends, but you need to come back and walk your dog and feed him and then go hang out with your friends, because this whole me living here thing was about me getting rest. I'm tapped out. I took care of somebody with a disability and took care of a toddler and an infant. 3 people at one time. I'm tired. Don't have it in me. You're a bitch. You can't fucking help me out with my dog. You don't care about my fucking dog. You're a bitch. You should put it in a... Every other thing is I'm a bitch, and because I don't want to help him in a fight. And I'm just like, the fuck is happening right now, nigga? It's not that serious. If it's not my dog, it's not my responsibility. I shouldn't have to. I don't care what agreement we have. That's not what it is. So then he gets upset at me, and he's like, well, I was so depressed during COVID. I'm not staying in the house anymore, and you don't care about my mental health. And I'm like, I do. Just come home and take care of your dog first, and then go back and handle your mental health by hanging out with your coworkers and drinking. And that's fine. I don't care. So then it turns into like this whole shebang. We start family therapy through his benefits. And so that means that he has to have an army therapist. Caveat to that situation. And so we're going back to therapy, and the therapist is like, yeah, homie, you like, because a lot of our fights were me asking him to clean. Every time I asked him to clean, it was, something about you didn't ask. Like, it would be like, I asked, he's like, well, how would I know to clean? You didn't tell me. And I'm like, the fuck? What? So then it would be like, James, we talk about, you're an adult. What do you mean? You should know how to clean. And it's, what? Then we move on. I tell him again, and it's like, well, you didn't give me enough time. You should have told me a couple days ahead of time. Then it was, you didn't tell me with a nice tone. Then it was, what's going on? Somebody's dog is lost. And then it was like, you're nagging me. And then it's, you're stressing me out because you're nagging me. Meanwhile, he hasn't cleaned this entire time. Between the first time I asked him, and why didn't you tell me? I didn't know I had to clean. You should tell me. Until you're a bitch and you're nagging me and you're stressing me out. Whole time, he never cleaned. So the therapist was like, homie, yeah, you got to clean. That's a part of being an adult. That's not her responsibility. It's your job to clean up after yourself. So then that spirals out of control, because the weeks that we were in therapy, again, he would clean once and then go 3 weeks without cleaning, or clean once and then go 6 weeks without cleaning. And the therapist is like, then you're not cleaning. That one time does not count. You have to clean consistently. And he's like, but I cleaned. And it's like, okay, once every 3 weeks is not consistent when it comes to cleaning. So then the therapist, we go through all of this, me and him get in a fight one day. And because my car both of our cars broke down and his motorcycle. So all of our transportation just within a matter of like months, like 2 or 3 months. And all of this falls apart. I don't know how long it was, but it falls apart. And I found a coupon and he finds somebody to foot the bill for the rental. And I'm like, okay, cool. Let's put our stuff together and then we'll get out of this. That was crazy. And then I come to the computer. I'm like, James, come on, let's do this. And he's like, shut the fuck up, stop nagging me. And I'm like, homie, I'm not nagging you. This isn't about nagging. This is genuinely about, like, if we don't do this right now, this coupon's going to expire at midnight. And then you're going to have one more thing financially that you got to come up with. Like, let's just do this. Again, I'm always trying to help him save money, but he wants to say shit out the side of his neck. So I'm like, all right, okay, cool. He gets pissed. He chases me around the house. He's screaming at me like he's going to punch me. He's like, ah! Like this whole thing. I'm like, all right, cool. He chases me out the house. I leave. He tells the therapist the next day, I was afraid I was going to kill her. She's like, do you want me to call somebody for you? I'm like, why? His father was just like this and would beat my ass. That's why he thinks it's okay, because his father would do this shit to me. And meanwhile, this is my twin brother, by the way. Meanwhile, she's just like, okay. So then my sister calls me and she's like, yo, what the fuck is happening? And I'm like, yeah, nigga's losing his shit. He's losing shit for multiple reasons. Because I'm asking him to clean up after himself, because I'm making him responsible for the fact that he frivolously spends reckless amounts of money while everybody's financially trying to help him make money. Not everybody, one particular person tries to help him, one of his friends' fathers. And I'm like, James, that's not respectful. And so then he gets mad at me because I'm telling him, yo, as your sister, like, you still gotta, like, make sure you holding up your end of the bargain and doing what you said you was gonna do. And then it was like, you don't need to watch my pockets. You're a fucking gold digger. I'm like, that's not what a gold digger is. I'm not asking you for the money. You offered the money, that any money that you ever given me. I'm trying to tell you that you're spending money that you don't need to spend and that you're getting mad about it and then blaming me for offering to give me money. That doesn't make sense. You don't need to go out to eat every day of the week if I'm cooking meals at home and you're paying for groceries. And then it's like, but if I want to go out to eat, I can go out to eat. I was like, okay, then cool, but then don't get mad that you don't have money. Pick one. Either do it and spend the money and don't get mad, or save money and we could be mad about it together because you deserve to have had that money that you didn't spend and that they took out your paycheck. You know what I'm saying, nigga? Like, the fuck? So why are you mad at me? Like, I'm trying to help you out. Then it just, like, everything spiraled. Then, like, army stuff, he was going through stuff mentally. It just all spiraled out of control. Some stuff that he was in control of and some stuff he wasn't. He felt like, as his sister, like, he was helping me out mentally and I should help him out mentally. And I'm like, I can't help you out mentally for things that you're putting yourself into. If you're overspending and you're depressed because you don't have as much money as you want to, you should have never invited me to come live with you. Sounds like financially you couldn't cover that, and that's fine. I understand it and I appreciate you offering it, but if you didn't have it, you shouldn't have offered it. I was like, and if you do have it, to offer it to me, but you don't have it to go spend on eating meals 3 days a week, like, instead of paying for groceries, like, pick one. Go eat and I'll figure out how to pay for my own food. Like, something. It just didn't make sense. He wanted to be mad about, like, everything and blame me for everything. And I'm just like, you also need to realize that you also have to be a responsible adult and make some choices. So it was just, like, out of control. My sister was like, come back here because he's going to hurt you if you don't. And I think we all agreed at that point. He agreed that he was going to hurt me. I agreed. He was the therapist. Like, we were just like, fuck it. Let's scrap it. So I went to go back to go live with my sister. And sure enough, he was like, I didn't think that you were really going to leave like that. And I'm like, nigga, the fuck? Like, when I tell you it was abusive, family dynamics, ladies and gentlemen, because
Just look like you be in a horrible situation all the way around, because why you gotta go to your brother's house and pretend like y'all children and living with your mama and you having to tell him what mama said to do? Why you gotta tell somebody how to clean up? That's crazy. Like, he should have been already knowing what to do. It's his house. And at the end of the day, I do think, like, cleaning can make you and break you too when you roommate or staying with somebody too, because everybody don't clean the same. Everybody don't agree on how to clean. So that can be, like, definitely a negative right there. And also, like, it seemed like he was asking for your opinions about spending money and saving money, and you was giving it to him. But then at the same time, he was knowing some of the stuff that you said made sense and was just bothered because you was telling him what's not clicking, Steven, what's not clicking. It seemed like the common sense for him was not common sensing, like, at this point. And that was a good idea, to go and stay with your sister. But not only that, you wind up getting yourself in a whole nother situation with your sister and her husband. At this point, it's right off staying with family or staying with people, period, because it's not going well at all.
This is a comment. She is jealous of me, and it's been that way. And we've been since like we were kids, and people would make comments and say stuff all the time when we were kids. Like, she is jealous. I noticed it the first time I noticed it when I must have been like 6 or 7. And so she must have been 8 or 9, something like that. I beat her and my older cousin in a game of basketball. It was 1 against 2. And I beat the both of them because I was really good at basketball, just at a really young age. And I just noticed like both of them got really upset. And I noticed then that she was jealous of me. And then as I got older, like recently, my mom's ex-boyfriend told me that, yeah, those are the dynamics since you were like 5. Like your mom and your aunt and your cousins, or your mom and your aunt and your grandma have been pitting your sister and you against each other since you were little because you were a tomboy and she was a girly girl, and they didn't like that you were a tomboy. So they used to pit your sister against you to make you, like, bully you into being a girly girl. And so, you know, you add that up with the fact that, like, again, my mom was on drugs and I'm sitting there helping my mom through her drug issues, and my siblings don't understand that. And because it looked like to them that my mom was spending more time with me because I was the troubled child, because I had ADHD and autism and like I was sick, and they didn't know that at the time, but I just looked like I had problems. And now that like we're older, they know, but like at that age, it just looks like I was getting more attention than them, and they didn't realize, oh, like, you're helping. Like, they were on drugs, so there were times I had to cook for my mom and my siblings because my mom was too high to get out of bed, or she was too sick to get out of bed because of her health issues. So like, my siblings didn't understand that the dynamics between me and my mom went both ways. That yes, my mom was helping me, but I was also helping her because she was addicted to drugs, and they didn't know that. So it's a jealousy thing because my sister perceives things to be a way that they just genuinely weren't. And the funny thing is like, you could never make me hate my sister because I know my mom's narcissistic and set up that dynamic. And I'm just like, bitch, she could never make me hate you. And my sister doesn't understand when I try to explain it to her. So yeah, she's jealous. And she's gonna stay that way because, like, the fuck? Like, she's not jealous like of me because like I don't have money or anything like that. So it's not that kind of jealousy. It's like the kind of jealousy of like, I could be homeless and find my way out of this. If she became homeless, she couldn't figure out. She don't have no street smarts. So like, she don't know shit. So like, it's that kind of jealousy. You know what I'm saying?
Could be true.
I can make all the excuses in the world and say that I stayed for the kids. I stayed because I had no money and I had health issues. And the reality situation is that I stayed because I wanted their love and attention, more than I wanted to be safe. And I had to admit that to myself. Like, I would get mad at them all the time because they would put me into dangerous situations. And a lot of the situations started because of the way that my mom abused me growing up in front of my siblings. And so that's why my siblings think it's okay to abuse me. And my mom had to alienate me from everybody in my life because my stepdad, 1, was sexually attracted to me, but then also 2, I would speak up about the fact that they were on drugs. So a lot of me telling the truth, and like, I would say when things were going on with my siblings. So I would tattle on my siblings, because I'm like, these niggas ain't being parented. They struggling. Like, y'all need to pay attention to what the fuck your kids are doing. So it was like, I'm all the time speaking up for myself and telling the truth, and speaking up for my siblings, even though they didn't know that was going on, and it created issues in our family. And in order to keep me quiet or to keep people from believing me, my mom had to basically portray me as a liar. And because my stepdad was sexually attracted to me, he set up cameras in our household and took videos and photos of me naked, and later on in life got registered on the sex offenders list. But that nigga has been doing weird shit since I was like 13, and I rejected him every single time. And thank God me and him was almost eye to eye when he came around, because it's like, had I not been the case and I had been so headstrong about the fact that I'm like, nigga, the fuck? Like, not only are you a horrible human being, but I'm 13 and you're a grown man and you're with my mother, like, the fuck? So it was a lot of like, my mom worked overtime to make sure that everybody else around me, especially a community of people, felt that I was untrustworthy. So it was like, you know, she basically made it look like, well, she could accuse your husband or your son. And so it was like, there was nowhere for me to run to or go to. And I just felt like my sister and my siblings were the only thing.
Oh my God, you hear this type of stuff all the time. Like, at some point, I'm just getting tired of hearing it. Like, What? Sexually attracted to a 13-year-old? Sir, what is wrong with you? What was wrong with her mother? Why these people, not only now, but then had their kids in situations like this? This is fucking disgusting. And now we gotta question everything. Like, this is exactly why her siblings think that it's okay to treat her this way. Because her mother started this. Her mother passed it down. And it's a good thing that she's noticing that now. Because what?
Only thing that I had left. And so I wanted them to love me. And it sounds pathetic. And the funny thing is like, I could be mad at my mom for being a pick-me with men and how that affected my life. But the reality of the situation is I'm a pick-me for my family members, and it is just as detrimental to my health and my well-being. And I don't get to just lie about that. Like, I wanted them so fucking bad. To this day, I still do. And I can't even begin to explain to you how the urge in my body is just like, I want to run to wherever they are and be wherever they are and have Sunday dinners and have family reunions. And like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just didn't work out that way. And I had to learn to get over it. But I left and I went no contact. So, it's been a year and some change, and a lot has happened in that year and some change. Some really bad stuff has happened in the year and some change. It's hectic. But I went no contact. I had some level of contact with my sister. But recently in the last month, I've decided that I need to go full no contact, even if that means I can't speak to her kids, because she weaponizes her kids against me. So yeah, no, it sucks, but I can't make excuses. I can't lie. I stayed, because I wanted day love. And now I at some point I left because I realized that me being so desperate for that was what was killing me, because I wasn't taking care of my health. And I was allowing them to just be like, do this, do that. And I physically couldn't do things for them. And I was hurting myself further. So, no, I should have left. Yeah, I should have left. None of them have this app except one person, but they've already been blocked. But beyond that, my mom wrote a book. It's, again, not funny. This shit is crazy. My mom wrote a book after my stepdad got caught doing what he did. I talked about it in previous videos, or I talked about it in the video. After my stepdad got caught, my mom wrote a book basically victimizing herself and supposedly saying a whole bunch of shit about me in the book. I never read the book because I didn't want to traumatize myself. But so I don't care. Like, they could get mad if they want, but did nobody say shit to her about that book and how she needed to take it down? So y'all about to be in for the ride of your life, because I'm about to pull a her, if we being honest. Matter of fact, fuck it. What story times do y'all want to hear? Is she gonna write a book after her husband violates me so she can make money? I think we should just run this bitch up, to be honest.
Her mother wrote a book. What?
Okay, story time. Because you guys liked the last story time. And I need to get into the Creator Awards program. I'm going to tell you more stories, crazy stories about my family. But more specifically, if you thought the last story was crazy about how my sister treated me after she had her stroke and I was taking care of her and her kids, you would think it's crazy that she took her kids to go visit my mom after my stepdad, days after my stepdad came off the sex offenders registry list. Anyways, so my stepdad was registered on sex offenders because I've talked about this in most of the videos. If you want me to do a more in-depth story time, just let me know. My mom rolled over in the bed one day because she thought he was cheating, looked at his phone while he was in the bathroom. And she found videos and photos of me in his phone naked. And she was like, what the fuck? Because it didn't look like I had been posing for the video and photo. So she was just kind of like, it's clear that somebody was taking these. And so it clicked that he had set up a video. Meanwhile, caveat to that situation, I need to stop saying that word. My stepdad worked in the IT department at the university I went to at the time. Anyways, so she went and confronted him. He admitted to the situation, and cut to like a year or so later,
something happened in that span of that time. Like, I had to tell, because obviously he worked in the IT department of the school. I also needed therapy. So I told the therapist at the school that I went to. And then so she was kind of looked at me and we looked at each other and she was just like, do you want, because I got to, but like, I'm gonna give you an option. So I was like, yeah, homie, like, you gotta do what you gotta do. So they did an investigation. He got fired, but also he ended up getting arrested and they made him register on the sex offenders list. So now my mom told her version of events and wrote a book. But my sister consistently would be like, oh, I don't think that you're telling the truth. Like, my whole family knew the whole time that, because I would tell them when I was younger, like, this nigga's hitting on me, they're on drugs, like, I need help, can you guys come get us, whatever. And nobody would listen, and it would just be like, oh, you're lying. And I'm like, nah, this nigga, I'm not lying. So my sister would always lie and say, like, or be like, oh, I don't believe you, this isn't happening, whatever. And at some point she went to go, and that's another story, she went to go live with my grandmother because she also didn't like my stepdad. But when she didn't like him, it was just because he was taking up my mom's attention. So it was a fight between her and my mom, and eventually she just left him and to go with my grandmother. It's more in depth. The situation is not that simple, but so then my sister would constantly be like, I don't believe you. So she would, in order to understand what was happening, she would go to either my brother or my mom. And if my mom would admit it, then she would believe my mom. Or if my brother would be like, no, mom's lying, like, this actually happened, then she would believe my brother. And then she would come back and be like, okay, cool, you're telling the truth. And I'm like, the fuck, bitch? And she would make me re-explain myself over and over, abusive, over and over again. This is really traumatizing for me, by the way. But at this point, you know, I'm so used to it now. And she would just basically, so like, for example, one time I told my sister, like, hey, he's been attracted to me since we were like 11 or 12 years old. And she didn't believe me. And I told her about how one time when he wanted to spank me, he wanted me to take off my clothes and lay across his lap naked so he could spank me, because I did something that, like, they said that we weren't allowed to do, or he said specifically, not my mom. And so I was like, no, nigga. And he basically threatened to beat the shit out of me. And I ended up having to take off my pants. And might I add you, I was like 13. So I basically hit puberty and I looked similar to what I look like now, and less like a kid. And so CPS got called. It was a whole situation. My mom threatened to beat the shit out of me if I didn't lie. So I ended up lying to CPS and they left. Yo, when I tell you the motherfucker showed up at the front door and I was about to piss my fucking pants and that bitch was standing there like, choose, bitch. I said, nigga. Oh, my knees was shaking. My knees was shaking so fucking bad that day. So I told the lady that I lied and I slammed the door in her face. That's the shit. I was so nervous I slammed the door in her face. Anyways, they never came back. So anyways, that happened. And my sister asked my mom, and my mom lied and said that it never happened. And then my brother told my sister that my mom's lying and that did happen and he remembered it. And my sister all of a sudden believed me. This is normal for mine and hers relationship. I'm a liar. Granted, this is the dynamics that my mother set up, but my sister very much perpetuates them. And she tells everybody that I'm a liar. So then, so this is context. So while I'm living with her and I'm helping her through her stroke, she's making me repeat my story over and over again to her, to figure out if I'm lying or if it's true or not. And so that's the dynamics of our relationship. So she knows everything that happened and he's not safe and how long he's been sexually attracted to me, all this other stuff. And how my stepdad used the Bible to justify it. My mom ends up admitting it in a book that she wrote because she wanted people's sympathy. And so it's just a hot mess. So she knows it happened and it's not a lie. And then she ends up cut to after I lived in another state. After I left my sister's house, I went to go have surgery somewhere else because I was so sick. I needed to have my uterus taken out and I needed to have my shoulder reconstructed. So I had them back to back. I had the reconstruction in like May, and then I had the hysterectomy 6 weeks later in June. Now the DA calls me while I'm still recovering from both of those surgeries, like in July. And I'm like, why is the DA calling my fucking phone? I'm panicking. And because I didn't remember, like, did I do something that I wasn't supposed to fucking do? And I'm like not remembering correctly. It was a hot mess. So I panic, and then I hear the rest of the message, and it was because my stepdad wanted to petition to come off the sex offenders registry. And I'm like, oh, son of a bitch. So I didn't think it was a good idea. I didn't even remember. I thought he could come off a while ago and that they petitioned. This is, might I add you, my birthday was day of that month, let's say the 13th. And then my dad's birthday was the next day. He's dead. And then the DA called me on that third day. So much stuff going on in that moment. The surgery, my birthday, my dad's dead dad's birthday, and then the DA calls me. And I'm like, the fuck? This is horrible timing. But my mom does shit like this. She'll do this in a time, because they could have petitioned whenever. And I asked the DA about this, and they didn't. They chose that specific time to do it. And I'm like, the fuck? So then I find out, like, I'm trying to figure out, did she do this on purpose? Because she does, like, accuses me of being jealous of her, and then will do stuff like this on purpose to teach me a lesson. And then I'm like, okay, like, did she really fucking, this is low down dirty. This is fucked up. Like, why would she do this? So then come to find out, through the grapevine, that my sister's coming into town with the kids, and the kids want to see me, or something happened, and I find out, and I'm like calling her so I can see the kids. He comes off the registry on let's say a Tuesday. No, he comes off the registry on a Friday. They fly into town on a Tuesday, and they're staying and spending the night. She's a teacher and a mandated reporter, and she has her kids in the same house as somebody who's registered on the sex offenders list and who's been attracted to kids, because he was attracted to me when I was a child. And then to top it all off, it's like, you're my sister. You know everything that he did because I told you, to me. And then you take not only just your children, but the children that I love very much and that I became very attached to because I had to, so that you could survive what you were going through and focus on your stroke, and you could know that your kids were safe with me. And you know that's what the fuck it is. And you can never not say that. You know that's what the fuck it is. And you took them, what are basically, yes, they're your kids, but they my heart. You fucking took them kids to go be in the same house with a man who violated me while growing up and was on the sex offenders registry list. Like, when I tell you I mentally had a breakdown while going through this, again, I just had surgery. It was so much, it was low down and fucking dirty on everybody's part to do that shit. But my family will be like, that had nothing to do with you. See, you think everything's about you. We get to move on with our lives, and they do not give a fuck about how this shit would affect me. They don't think to do this at different times. They don't care. So yeah, that's the story time of my sister being a fucking dumbass and a horrible parent.
Honestly don't know, but I think it was because he hasn't committed any more crimes or gotten caught committing any more crimes. I tried to tell the DA when they were talking to me that, like, I don't think that he should be taken off because he's still at church, a deacon at a church around kids and things like that. Like, I was just like, y'all don't understand. Like, they are nuts. They honestly don't think that what they did was really wrong, that it was it's this divine thing. It's a hot mess. So I told him it wasn't safe. They said, well, there's nothing that we can do. He hasn't committed any other crimes. And he specifically said, if you go over to that house and you do anything, they can call the cops and you can get arrested. He was like, so you kind of got to let this lie. And I was like, cool. So there was that with a warning.
Yeah, it just seems like so much stuff done happened in her life, not only with her siblings, but her mother. And it's just so fucking ignorant, dumb, and disgusting that her mother would not believe her daughter until she seen fucking pictures in the phone. But not only that, what the fuck is wrong with her making a book? That's pure fucking evil. Evil. And I thought Precious was a movie. I know that stuff be real, but damn, this reminds me of Precious. What? Her mother is definitely sick, and to this day she's still fucking sick in the head. Her sister just at this point, Just go no contact with all of them. Sister, mother, brother, everybody in the whole fucking family. Go no contact with. It's not worth the time. It's not worth your insanity. It's not worth you being depressed or angry over. Just leave it alone. Move on and stay away, far away from all of them as possible. This story is crazy, honey. Like, when I say it was just a whole tailspin all over the place, at least we got 3 stories in one, because, baby, yeah. This story is crazy. You guys, drop down in the comment section what you think about this story. Don't forget to like, comment, hype me up. And if you are new here, subscribe and join the family. If you are returning, y'all know how we like to do it, and I like to repeat myself. So like, comment, hype me up. Share this video. Yeah, share the video. And you guys, I hope you all have a blessed day. Peace.